Well, I still have a $35,000 profit, right? Wrong. What about your time? Is that worth anything? How much is your time worth? Are you trading dollars for hours? Right? I want to trade hours for dollars, not dollars for hours. So, okay, so let's say your time is worth in 6 months, you're putting in all your free time, your weekend, and your nights. It's okay, so it's worth $10,000. So now you have a $25,000 profit, right? Wrong. Why? Because your partner, who's your partner? Uncle Sam wants his piece. Partner Sam, we're going to call him from now on. Because the uncle don't take nothing from me. My partners do, right? So partner Sam wants his piece. What's the percentage? On the average, 22, 26%, depending on where you're at. 39 for some of you, right? If you're making over $100,000, you're in the highest profit. Well, now, it's only a 6-month deal, where the good deal now is you're only making about $15,000. Okay, so you make your $15,000, $12,000. It sounded like a good deal at first glance because it's a 50% profit. Well, what about this? What about if we took that same $100,000 and the 5 of us put it in $1 million deal? I'm going to share a story with you, and she's shy. Okay? But she's going to look at us like we're her kids, and she's going to tell us, her kids, why it is that she's doing what she did and how she did it. And I want you to hear her story, Rashonda. All right? I was impressed. I met her last month, a week ago, and she told me what she did, and I said, this is what everybody here has to do. I don't want you to applaud. I just want you to listen to her. She's going to tell you in short detail, take as much time as you need, what you did, what you told me over the phone.
My name is Rashonda Allen. I got into...
Can everybody hear her?
Hold it closer to your mouth.
I got into real estate investing maybe 6 months ago. The burning desire that I have is because I have kids and I want them to be able to be a leader. So I got a realtor that was motivated to work with me. I got a property under contract, a $500,000 property under contract for $270,000, and then found a private lender, and we closed the deal. So that's how I ended up getting that property.
Tell them about your contractor, the deal you made with them.
Yeah, for him to do the rehab, I told him that I'll give him 15% on when the house sells. So I end up having him.
That's okay. That's okay.
But that's how I end up getting the house.
Is this your first deal?
And this is my first deal.
How long have you been doing this?
6 months, and I got the house under contract within 3 months.
Okay. Now, don't go anywhere yet. In her first deal, how old are you?
29.
She's 29. Her first deal, she's going to make how much? About?
30,000.
30,000? 40,000? After she pays off her, let's say she sells a property for $400,000. Everybody gets their piece. She gets 30,000, 40,000. How many of you can use an extra $30,000, $40,000? How many of you can use an extra $30,000, $40,000 and you didn't even use your money? Thank you. Now, this is a house on the beach. That is traditionally what people do.
But wait, there's more.
Check this out. How about, I said to her, can I tell you what I would do with that house? She said, yeah. How about if we took that same deal she made, she used his money, example, she used his construction skills, she put the deal together, the realtor's going to get his or her piece. The hard money lender, how many of you know what a hard money lender is? Gets his 15 to 20%, that's what it costs to use them. That's okay, if that's the avenue you have. The contractor's going to use his skills, his money to rehab the house, not hers, his, and he's going to get 15%. Your partner Sam is going to get his percentage, and she's going to get $30,000 to $40,000. That's okay. This is a property on the beach. The backyard is the beach, right? You can see the water, walk to the sand. Nice property, right? How about this? One of the things that we talk about that's not it, okay? One of the things that we talk about is rehabs. One of the things that we talk about is the rehabs, you flip it, you make some money. I said to her, this is what I would do with that property. I would do exactly what you did, but I would not use the hard money lender. I would use my money for our money. We use it as a group. We're a group mentorship. She's learning on her own. What happens when you do stuff on your own that you don't know what you're doing sometimes? You make mistakes. Are mistakes expensive? Will the hard money lender lose on this deal, no matter what she does? No, because if she makes mistakes, the hard money lender gets the profit. The contractor's out, she's out. So what we want to do as a group, teamwork makes the dream work, is get rid of the mistakes. So I've learned after 44, 45 single-family homes how to avoid the mistakes. And how to do a little better with a single-family home. I'll take that same 3,000 square foot home, example, and instead of renting it out for, say, $2,500, $3,000 a month, is that okay to live on the beach for $3,000 a month? How about this? How about we convert it into an assisted living facility? You like that, don't you? Yeah. How many of you know that if you were going to put mom and dad, or mom or dad, in an assisted living facility that's on the beach, it would cost you about $6,000, $7,000 a month? You know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. Now, how many of you know that that property, which the mortgage that she would have to pay about $2,500 a month, and you rented it out, if you just rented it out as a residence, she would make about $500 a month, probably for the next 30 years, right? But if we converted it into an assisted living facility, and we got, let's just say, $6,000, I shared this with her, per resident, which is per bed, per month, we would make $36,000 a year on that same, or a month, on that same property. Anybody done the math per year? Mm-hmm. If we're making $36,000 a month, $420,000, right? 360, yeah, about 420 plus. How many of you think that that one deal would retire you if you were making $30,000 a year? Question?
About 10.
Now that's a really good deal. Unfortunately, she can't hang on to it because she's got a partner who wants his or her money back in 6 months or a year, right? 6 months? 6 months. But what about...
Can we buy it from her as a group?
What about if the group...
I want to retire to the beach.
How many of you know that if you took, say, $10,000 and put it in a single-family home, somebody, please tell me that's done a single-family home, how much money you're going to get a month out of that house? You're just taking it, you're buying it, you're holding it, or you're flipping it, or you're doing an agreement for deed, lease purchase option. How much will you net a month on a deal like that? 200 bucks, is that fair? 100 to $200 a month. Everybody know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, raise your hand and I'll break it down. Okay, so you buy a house. Sorry, what is your name?
Alan.
Alan?
Yeah, Alan.
And
Elena.
Elena. You buy a house, you put your $10,000 into it, you fix it up, and then you rent it out to sell someone. And your payment to the bank or to the mortgage or to the private lender, because you didn't own finance, is say $800 a month. But you rented it out to him with the option to buy it for $900. So the difference is positive cash flow of $100, and that goes to you, or $150. Okay, so you're making $150 on that property every month, which it equals $1,800 a year. Okay? Now, what about if we took that same property and we rented it to a corporation that is paying us, say, $1,200 a month, but it's our corporation and we're making it a 6-bed facility at, say, $2,000 a person, and it brings in $12,000 a month. Half of that is expenditures, or your expenses, and it leaves $6,000 a month. And you did it with 6 people, you and 5 more. How much do you get a month each? Isn't that better than $150? How many of these would you have to do to retire? Some of you say, I could retire with how much, Chris?
$2,700.
$2,700 a month, roughly $3,000 a month. That's because of his current lifestyle. Now, how many of you know that if he bought Rashanda's deal and he made $2,500 a month on this property, he would retire probably in the next 6 months? How many of you know that 6 months later he would say, Mike, my retirement needs have changed?
Yes.
Because you have all this extra time, and now you're saying, well, you know, 1 worked pretty good, so 2's got to work a little better. How many of you know that your need will change also? Right now, I want you to think in your mind, and they're telling me I have to give you guys a bathroom break for 10 minutes. Is that okay? In about 4 minutes, I'll give you a bathroom break. That way you can run 5-10 minutes and we come back. Stretch your legs, get the blood pumping. How many of you, if I want you to think of a number in your mind, if you were going to retire January 31st, what is that number today for you? To live the way you're living right now. Josiah, what's the number? $5,000. Is that fair? $5,000. If he could take home $5,000 a month, he would retire. How many of you would retire with $5,000 a month? About half of you. Okay. Somebody asked me yesterday about my income. I'm not saying this to boast. I do over $100,000 a month. But I can't retire because I have large bills. How many of you know when you make $2,000 a month, you spend $2,000? Yes. How many of you know when you make $5,000 a month, you spend $5,000, all right? How many of you know when you make $100,000 a month, you spend $100,000? So we're changing that around. This is why in the last 2 years, we took some big projects and made them very profitable. In theory, at the rate I'm going, I could retire in 3 years. How many of you want to know that I've already retired 3 times? How many of you want to know that the first time I retired was with $5,000 a month? And within a year, that changed. And then the second time, it was $12,000. Because our needs change, our wants change. So we're going to take a bathroom break, kind of talk, look around, get some coffee, get some water, and then we're going to start in 10 minutes. That way, somebody said that the mind will absorb what the bottom can undo. Is that right? So we're going to take a break. We're going to use a bathroom break, get some water, get some drink, get to know it for a few minutes, and then we'll come right back. Is that okay? 10 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.